Atma Namaste, thanks for joining Elnaz Yoga 360. In this short video, I just want to give you a couple of tips about, part of the vinyasa flow, which is we're coming to the plank position, Chaturanga, and then coming to your up dog, which is your back bend, and eventually coming to your downward facing dog. In my classes, I see that this is a very important part, and I emphasize these tips, which I'm going to actually tell you to my students, because if we don't know them and we practice this for so many years, it's possible that we injure the body after, again, a couple of years, not again, it doesn't happen quick. So it's good to know them. When you're ready, just get on your mat. So we can start with, again, the tabletop. And if you remember, the tabletop is the position in which really the body looks like a table. So your palms are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. And from here, let's curl your toes under. And actually, let's go to the plank. Let's start with the plank position. So come to your plank position just for a moment. And one of the important things to know about the plank is that we want to keep the hips kind of in the same level as your upper body. So you don't want to drop the lower body. So keep your arms firm and keep your hips the same level, and also keep the level of the pelvis the same level, both right and left. You don't want to be like leaning to one side. And then from your plank, when you're ready, let's push back to your downward facing dog. Let's stay here for 2 to 3 deep breaths. Finding your ujjayi breathing. Pull the belly in, lengthen your spine, push the upper thighs to the back of the room. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, coming to your plank position. So, the first round, I'm just going to do it, coming all the way down to our belly on our mat. So we're not going to go to Chaturanga. And you're going to place your hands next to your rib cage. I want you to engage your leg muscles. We're going to go to upward facing dog. Press your hands, inhale, going all the way to your upward facing dog. So your hips and your kneecaps are off the floor. Inhale here and exhale. Curl your toes back to your downward facing dog. Press your hands firmly to the floor. Stay here. Imagine the inner thighs spinning toward the back of the room. Now we want to come to the second part, coming to your plank position and going to Chaturanga. Chaturanga, which is like a half plank. So before we go to Chaturanga, we need to shift our body a little bit forward. This is something that a lot of students actually miss. So they come all the way down. No, it's important to shift with your toes, shift yourself a little bit up and then coming halfway down, because this will make your arms like, what do we call it? 90 degree. So that's important to have that little shift. And coming back up. So again, back to your downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. So now we're going to come to Chaturanga and going up dog. So coming again to your plank position, shifting a little bit forward, and then you're coming to Chaturanga. Another thing about Chaturanga is that you want to keep it as much as possible next to your body. I've come across students which they do this. And that's not right. Try to keep it as much as possible close to your body. And again, back to your downward facing dog. There's another note which I want to tell you about the Chaturanga part. Take another deep inhale. Now, coming again to your Chaturanga, the other part of the Chaturanga part, which is important, is that you're coming down and try to keep your neck the extension of your spine. So you don't want to drop your head down like this. So keep it the same level. And again, back up. Now, coming all the way, Chaturanga, coming halfway down. Now point your toes, press your hands in, inhale, collarbones wide, coming to your upward facing dog. This is your back bend. And exhale, curl your toes and back to your downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, one more note which I would like to actually mention here is about the part that when we come to Chaturanga, and sorry, not Chaturanga, we're coming to Uttanasana. And from Uttanasana, we want to jump back to Chaturanga. This is another important part that you need to make sure that when you're jumping back to here, you're jumping to Chaturanga. You see, your elbows are bent. So you're not jumping back to your arms, to your plank, because this can injure your arms after, again, multiple times of doing this, because the body is not stable. So it's important that when we're jumping back, so we're jumping to Chaturanga, the elbows are at least partially bent, because that will kind of stabilize and take care of any, any jerk that we don't want happen to the joints. And then inhale to your upward facing dog. And exhale back to your down dog. So I hope these tips will be useful for you. I mean, I guess these are more useful for practitioners who have been practicing for some time. But again, it's good to know them from the beginning if you are learning vinyasa and you want to know the correct part of the poses to make sure that hopefully you take care of your body as you're practicing and progressing. So please put your comments, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.